You're listening to CFRN, a community of believers who trade for a living. To learn more about who we are, what we do, and how we do it, call toll-free 1-866-928-3310, and we'll send you out a no-obligation information kit absolutely free. 866-928-3310. The CFRN Emini Futures Cast is now on Stitcher. Listen to us on your iPhone, Android phones, BlackBerry, and WebOS phones. Stitcher is smart radio for your phone. Find it in your app store or at Stitcher.com. Stitcher Smart Radio, the smarter way to listen to radio.
Are you ready, Steve? Andy? Yeah! Bert? Well, all right, fellas. Let's go!
You're listening to CFRN, the Christian Financial Radio Network.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download at www.audibletrial.com/CFRN. Over 85,000 titles. Choose from mystery, romance, religion, science, technology, business, New York Times bestsellers, even children's books. You name it, Audible has it. With 85,000 titles to choose from, you're sure to find the perfect audiobook for yourself or to give as a gift, and it's absolutely free. Just point your browser to audibletrial.com/CFRN. That's audibletrial.com/CFRN. And become a part of the audiobook revolution by downloading your free audiobook today. audibletrial.com/CFRN.
Hey, trader, want to get rich quick? Well, good luck with that. If, on the other hand, you actually want to learn how to trade, the place to be is www.cfrn.net. Tune in Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern for our daily devotional, and then spend the next 3 hours learning how it's done from professional traders who actually trade for a living. That's www.cfrn.net. Every trading day from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern. CFRN, a community of believers who trade for a living.
Good afternoon, traders, and welcome back to the CFRN Emini Futures Cast. This is the daily broadcast of Indeterminate Length, where we discuss all things E-mini, along with some really big ideas on the finer points of trading gold, bonds, crude, sugar, the euro, and even T-bills. Joining us today from our studios in Boston, Mr. Michael Borth. From our trading desk in Chicago, Mr. Burton Schlichter. Now, to get things started, let's go to our host and founder in Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Here's Dwayne.
Good afternoon. Welcome back. Today is Wednesday, 5th day of February, 2020. Thanks so much for joining us. Whoever you are, wherever you are, we're just glad to have you right here, right now. If you can't see the screen I have up, go to our homepage at CFRN.net. On the right-hand side of the page, click the big microphone, follow the instructions. You'll be registered in about 30 seconds, and that will give you one-click access to the show each and every day. When you join that way, you will also have access to the chat box, which allows you to participate in the discussion. You can post any questions that you have live in real time during the show. On the days that you're out of the office, away from the desktop, point any internet-connected browser to cfrn.net/live. There you'll find a live, real-time simulcast of the show as it unfolds. And you'll also find us streaming live during the show on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. So let's bring up a chart of the S&P 500 E-mini Futures. Let's go to the daily chart. This is where we left off with the daily chart yesterday. We popped out of the bottom of the channel. We hit the 24% fib. We anticipated a pretty good bounce, which would take us back up to the bottom of the channel, where we would connect with the BBC and red and falling, which would then lead to the next leg to the downside. Now, once you learn to discern what the next high probability move is in the market, any market, even though it is the high probability move based on logic, doesn't mean it's always going to do that. If it did, that would mean trading suddenly got easy and everybody would do it. And we all know that trading's not easy, but if you watch this show, you know it can be simple. We had said if we caught the bounce, if the bounce continued, we would look for 3228/29 as potential resistance. That is the next to the highest weekly trading zone for this week. And it looks like we're currently trading 33.27. So we're coming right up against that weekly trading zone. If that holds, it's going to give us a little double top here. That number also represents the midpoint of the channel. Okay. And as the saying goes in Technical Analysis 101, when price returns to the middle of a price channel, ascending or descending, there's a 50-50 chance of it continuing on to the top or reversing at that point for a move to the downside, back to the bottom of the channel. So right now, we're in that waiting period. We're trading 32.26. We've got a weekly trading zone at 28/29. And if we creep above that to 37, then we've got a perfect daily top. This is on the S&P. Okay, that's the daily outlook. Let me give you the numbers from around the world. Cash markets, which kind of puts everything in perspective. It lets us know where the world markets stand. We'll start here in the US. As soon as I get my data. There we go. Currently, the Dow is up 386 points. That's a gain of 1.25%. NASDAQ is up 33. S&P 500 is up 30. That's almost 1%. And the Russell 2000 is up 18. That's a little over 1%. In the commodity basket, crude oil up $1.94. Trading 51.55 last. That's a gain of almost 4%. Gold up $6.50, trading 15.62 last. The Asian markets at the close, Nikkei posted a gain of 234 points. That is a gain of roughly 1%. Shanghai posted a gain of 34 points, 1.25%. And the Hang Seng posted a gain of 110 points, which is about half of 1%. And in the European markets, FTSE closed the session up 42 points. DAX closed the session up 196. That's 1.5%. The CAC closed up 50 points, an almost 1% gain. So 2 days back to back, got a green day in Asia, green day in the UK, and it's a big green Radio Wednesday here in the US of A. So let's go to Michael and get a recap of what happened in the live training room this morning. After that, I'll be back. We'll go over the Concierge Trade Alerts, Logic 247 for last night. I'm not going to hold you long today. I have an appointment I have to make, but we will definitely get through those numbers and have a short chat with John if he makes it in on time. So John, if you're tuned in and listening right now, go ahead and get ready to come on in.
I don't see him out there right now.
Morning, Michael.
Hey, good morning, Dwayne. Hey, before you go,
Yes.
I just wanted to say, for anybody that's been with us for, any period of time, one of our partners just passed.
Oh, who?
Frank.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I was talking to his wife yesterday.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, he's been fighting that battle for 10 years.
Father, we pray right now for Frank's family, for his wife, for everyone who knew him and was close to him. I mean, just a couple days ago, he was in here, same old Frank, just following the market and putting his running commentary in the chat box. Lord, I know he was a man that loved you with all of his heart. Everything he did was about you, his relationship with you, and making sure that everyone he came in contact developed a relationship with you. So Lord, I know that his family right now, although they've been slowly preparing for this, I suppose, over these past few years and months, the day that it happens comes as a shock, as if you are hearing it for the first time. So by the power of your Holy Spirit, Lord, I just pray that your peace, your presence would fall upon them, give them clarity and understanding, acceptance, and let us find it in our hearts not to mourn the passing of a man, but to celebrate the life of a believer who championed you and your cause with every waking breath. We love you, Frank. We'll miss you. And we'll see you on the other side. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. All right. I just wanted to put that out there
Thank you.
to start with. And I'll stay in touch with Lisa.
Okay. All right. Okay, well, I'll hit mute and
Okay.
I'll be
right.
here when you're done.
All right, here we go. Good afternoon, everyone. Today is the 5th day of February 2020. If you have not taken a free trial with us, go to the home page here at CFRN.net. It says apply.cfrn.net right over here in the right-hand column. You can click that, or this free 5-day trial here. There's a whole bunch of places to click to get the free trial started. Once you do that, I don't have it open right now. Once you do that, you'll be brought to eminitrainingschool.com. Okay, on this page, all we ask for is your name, your email, your phone number, and you can tell us your biggest trading challenge so we can tailor one-on-one training specifically for you. Hit the send button and you'll be sent a confirmation link. You must click on the confirmation link, okay? If you don't click the confirmation link, we don't know that you took the free trial. All right, I'm going to go back because I will do this all again in a few minutes. The results. We had a pretty good morning today. We only traded 2 markets. We traded crude oil, made 13 ticks there, and the ES, we made 12 ticks there. Put us at plus 280 on the morning session. Today it took 43 minutes and 6 trades to get to the goal for the day. At that point, we're up $125 a contract, and we took a total of 12 trades. So on the month now, we're only 3 days in, but we're up $880 a contract, averaging $293 per day. On the year, we're at $3,678 per contract over 22 days, averaging $167 per day. That's 2 hours per day. Okay, and I missed most of the trades, as you all know. So let's go through what did or didn't happen. Now, we didn't trade gold today, but I think there were a couple of trades that did set up. We'll start right here. All right. There was a shorting opportunity right here. Would have been a break even. And it got really choppy. And, you know, if you look at gold this morning right here, when the non-farm numbers came out, it totally tanked. But I drew this, I'm going to make this a different color. I drew this line up here because I think the market is going to be attracted to this level. Here, I'll make it blue. And it pulled right back up to it, then back down to it. And I think that that's going to be an important number for a couple days probably. But yeah, we really didn't have much going on with gold today. You know, we didn't have a trend going here. Then finally we got a trend and the cycle was going up too steep to go short. Then it turned around and gave us a long opportunity right here. That would have been a break even. And then it just got really choppy and sideways. All the markets toward the end of the morning session got choppy and sideways. And look at this on the euro. No, we didn't have anything on the euro today. You know, I suppose we could have shorted right here, but I think it was going into the low of the day at the time. So we couldn't do anything with it. You come here to crude. Hang on. Here we go. All right, on crude, we started out here with a break-even trade. All right, then we missed that one right there. Just too bad, that would have gotten us our goal. And we missed that one, which, well, it would have been a break-even trade at best. And we picked up 5 ticks right here. And then we had a break-even, picked up another 5 ticks over here to give us plus 10. 3 here to give us plus 13. A break even there. And yeah, I don't think I missed much on crude today. During the break, you see how it got all flat here right before the end of the morning session. We came over here and there was a long trade right in there during the break. Okay, it would have been right here. Okay, and here we go. On the ES, we started out with a break even right here. Then we missed a short there that would have been profitable. Another one here that would have been profitable. We had another break even here. Then we picked up 2 ticks. Then we picked up 4 more to put us at plus 6. Then 4 more to put us at plus 10. And we missed a long right there. See, this got choppy too. Look at how choppy this was at the end of the morning session. We grabbed 2 ticks right here and it didn't put in a higher swing. That's why I had that line drawn in there. During the break, there was a shorting opportunity here. And here. And a long opportunity. Yeah, there wasn't a long opportunity. Okay, and that was it. So we ended with plus 12 on the ES. All right, and plus 13 on crude. Now, and we'll go back here to the spreadsheet and go over it again. If you're going to look at the spreadsheet, you got to read all the CFTC risk disclosures down at the bottom. Today is the 5th day of February 2020. Today we made 13 ticks on crude, 12 ticks on the ES. Put us at plus 280 on the morning session. Today took 43 minutes and 6 trades to get to the goal for the day. At that point, we're up $125 a contract, and we took a total of 12 trades. So there were a lot of trade opportunities this morning. Target rich is what Frank used to call it. So on the month now, we're up $880 a contract. That's over 3 days, averaging $293 per day. On the year, we're at 3,678. That's over 22 days, averaging $167 per day. $167 per day. Okay, and if you have not taken a free trial with us and you want to, go to the home page at CFRN.net. Over here in the right-hand column, it says 5-day free trial, apply.cfrn.net. Just click on that. You'll be brought to this page, eminitrainingschool.com. Just scroll down to where it says name, email, phone number, and you can tell us your biggest trading challenge, so we can tailor one-on-one training specifically for you. Hit the send button, and you'll be sent a confirmation link. You must click on the confirmation link. Okay, we don't know you took the trial until you click that link. Okay? And that was our morning session. With that, we can pass it back out to fabulous Phoenix, Arizona, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Dwayne, if you are ready. John's still not in. Okay.
Recap of the recap.
Today it took 43 minutes and 6 trades to get to $125 a contract.
That's good bingo.
It is. It is.
Okay. All right, guys. I did speak with John briefly. Let him know the show would be a little short today, so he's going to head on in here pretty quickly. So
Okay, I'll keep an eye out for it.
let me share with you the recap that Valerie just sent me for Logic 247 so far this week. We are in week 79 as of 11:30 a.m. today. 39 total alerts issued, 8 never triggered, 1 still working. It's given us 30 actionable alerts. 3 of them have stopped out. So far this week, 10% of actionable alerts have been stopped out. Over the past year, we've averaged 20%. Over the last quarter, we averaged 14%. However, as long as we maintain our benchmark of 20%, which we have for 79 weeks, 20% or better, we're very happy with that. So let me give you a quick look at what those logic alerts have looked like so far this week. Remember, we start up Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern. Last week, week 78, we had a total of 45 actionable alerts. 8 of them were stopped out. 18% of actionable alerts stopped out last week. That again in keeping with our 20% benchmark. As we roll into week 79, the Z's means it just never triggered. Thumbs up means it triggered and found the price target. And a red X means it was stopped out. So that was crude. That was the Dow, the NQ, another NQ, a hedge on the ES, hedge on the Dow, hedge on the NQ, hedge on the Russell. This one's still waiting. No trigger, no trigger, no trigger, no trigger. This is gold, S&P, NQ, Dow, crude oil. That brings us up to yesterday. S&P, this Dow was stopped out. There's an NQ, a crude, gold, ES, Dow, NQ, gold, crude oil, and here's one that got out of sequence somehow, and this is still waiting from above. So there we have it. 10% of Logic 247 alerts stopped out this week. The difference between the Logic alerts and the Concierge alerts, Logic alerts are presented live in real time as the opportunity develops. In our private Telegram channel. Your phone, your tablet, your computer, whichever one you have set up, and most folks have all three set up. When it makes that sound, DDD, unless you changed it to some custom sound, it will alert you that opportunity has developed in one of the futures markets that we follow. Could be at 2 a.m., could be at 2 p.m. Of course, if you don't want to receive alerts in the middle of the night, you simply turn off notifications for that channel, and then the next morning when you're ready to start trading, you turn it on. All of the alerts that came out while you weren't actively receiving notifications, they built up in the pipeline, so you immediately have, in most cases, some inventory to work as new alerts start presenting themselves. Now again, the logic is what's happening right now. The Concierge Trade Alerts are a little different. Those are based on prior price behavior. Logic is current price behavior. Concierge is previous price behavior. Now, when those two methods point a finger at the same important price, important area, that almost always deserves a second look. So I'm going to drag up right now last night's Concierge Trade Alerts. If you would like to grab a screenshot of those, you certainly can. Looks like I just missed a call from John.
Yeah, John just popped in.
Okay.
I'll open his mic.
So as soon as we finish talking to John, we'll walk through these Concierge Trade Alerts from last night. So grab your screenshot and be ready. We'll do that as soon as we finish with John. John, welcome to the show.
Hello. Thanks for the invite.
You bet.
Look, this is a really big deal today. You know, this market is, I think we just got a little bit of a taste of what a sell-off might look like. You know, we came in up 300, and, you know, normally they give us a bit of warning. You remember the last time we sold off from the highs, we had a few hours or maybe an hour to kind of get ready to sell. And this time they kind of like hit us at 9:30 right on the bell. You know, they basically sold it off right from the open. And so, you know, it was a little bit scary because, you know, these guys have got a habit of taking the market back to where it was, you know, lower, you know, to give people an opportunity to get in. It's the first time I've seen a sell-off coming right on the open like this in a long time. But it is certainly something to keep in mind, because this market is very fast right now. It's quite dangerous because, you know, the market's moving even right now, the way the S&P is and the way the NASDAQ came off the highs here. You know, what we might be looking, because of the way Tesla got hit here yesterday, there was, you know, we got right up to 970, I think, is the high, just close to 1,000, and got clocked for you know, literally a 200 $250 fall, something like that, to, really a big deal. 100 shares, that's $25,000. So and look, this thing is so furious that you could easily see a rebound back up again. And I think if we go back up, we might actually go to about 1,200 on this thing. But I think that's about the limit if it happens. But look, you've got to, given the numbers that came out today, the 291,000 ADP jobs, that is, the biggest number since 2015. And it got me thinking, because, look, we've said on this show for months now that there's all-time record stimulus going on around the world like we've never seen before. And, this is before the rally. And remember what we said back in August last year, when everybody was calling for a recession. We said, no, it's going to be it's going to be the opposite, based on the market's performance, from last year. And it came in, but remember, we're only in April, of 9 months beyond April. That's where we are today. And where was the market in April? It was still going higher. So the odds of the economy actually, look, this jump in the PMI and the manufacturing index was a really big deal the last couple of days, and that's fueling the market. This obviously this virus, somebody came out with some sort of a false report saying there was a cure for this virus last night. That's what pushed the market up from 3 o'clock in the morning. But that's been discounted. So maybe that's a reason why they came in and knocked it down initially. There's a lot of opportunity in the market. What I would say is these high flyers like XLRN, INMSN, INSM, RETA is another one, RETA. These have been very strong stocks in the last few days. Boy, when they get hit, when the music stops, those stocks tend to fall very rapidly, and we've seen this happen with a lot of drug high flyers. There was that one XTR something, EXTR, something like that. XTRA, I think it was, went to $250 from an IPO and came back to earth with pretty sharply, just like Beyond did, just like Tilray did. So right now we're actually getting a little bit of I think the market got spooked with Tesla not only opening down but selling off right from the open too, obviously. But I think what's going on here, and it's very important to keep this in mind, if we don't get a rally in Tesla right back up, that because it's a fairly large component of the NASDAQ index, what appears to be happening today is the NASDAQ is underperforming, and the S&P and the Dow are actually, overperforming. This is a very dangerous development because, and listen, it might take a month or two to play out. It could go on right till March. And also the transports are actually going higher, which is remarkable. But sometime now, between now and March, nobody can say for sure when the top of this thing is going to happen. It could be literally any time between now and March, in my view. And obviously there's conflicting factors. You've got the acquittal this afternoon is sort of built into the market already, so maybe the reality of the acquittal could rally the market tonight, maybe not. It's sort of like this morning, buy the rumor, sell the fact. When the markets are going up this strongly, as I've said on the show, there's some news you don't know about yet that's good news. And that's, look at the semiconductors. We're up 15 today on the semiconductors. This is, they're leading the way higher. So that's actually something to be taking comfort in at the moment. But what I'm getting at is, if you start to see the NASDAQ underperforming and the Dow going higher toward, because if it's got to go, it's got to go back over 29,000 to hit an all-time high. But when you start to see the Dow sort of being the last man standing, or the last performer, if you like, you have to be really, really careful, because when, just like October the 2nd last year, when in 2018, sorry, when that setup occurred, the market just got taken apart really, really quickly. And I believe something like that will happen probably by April. And it could be quite devastating. In the meantime, we're still in this rally mode. We're still kind of, what's bothering me right now is the fact that we're down on the S&P, or sorry, we're actually up on the Nasdaq, but the fact that we're down off the highs, look, we're only up 7 points on the Nasdaq. We're up 309 points on the Dow. You see what I mean?
Didn't the NQ put in a new all-time high today?
Yeah, I think it did. Yeah. Actually, it was a double top. I think it was double top. So that's kind of another thing to worry about. So you've got other, Apple sort of put in a kind of a double top of sorts. Roku got clocked right from the open. A lot of these things. What's interesting though is there was some fairly straightforward trades today. Like UAL opened up, actually gave a buy, and could have taken more than $1 out of that stock on the upside. So this is, look, we're coming off a little bit right now. We're 575, we're only up five points. We're up 311 on the Dow. So these are really, dangerous things. One of the interesting things today is that the transports are up 141 points, which is, times, what's that? Just a second. That's a 4,000. That's a 400 point move in the Dow, the equivalent of. So the fact that the transports are rallying is encouraging. The gold is up off this decline yesterday, and I think the gold stocks are looking like they could. I'm not saying they're a buy today. They were a buy earlier on at the open, but they're all positive at the moment. But they could, if they start accelerating to the upside from here, there's a pretty good likelihood that the gold lows are in, and we might actually rebound rather dramatically in the metals. Platinum is up $20 today, and even though it got hit recently pretty hard, it looks like the platinum. Let me just check it. Hang on a second. Yeah, the platinum is probably more than likely has bottomed now, and even though it's very, very kind of dynamic, this market, in terms of the ups and downs that it's had, it's actually starting to look pretty bullish here. We've actually had a series of 1-2s from last year. We've actually had a series of 1-2s all the way from our bottom at 805, which we called back in the middle of the year last year in June, July. And basically that platinum's been going up ever since. But it's crazy when it goes up through 1,000 and then comes all the way back down to like 880, or even 870. It's tough. I'd say 880. It's tough to kind of deal with that. And yet it bounced off these levels, and now it's sort of cleared the 900, and it's retested the 960 here in the last couple of days. And now it's starting to look like it could actually explode higher, this platinum. So, and I think that would be very bullish for gold if that happens. So I think, and incidentally, the palladium has rebounded remarkably as well, again. after having quite a pullback. I mean, it's almost back to its previous highs right now. So that's significant in of itself. A couple of stocks to be, well, I guess, I'm really not liking what I'm seeing here today with the tech sector. I think, unless we have a strong late rally today, I think we've got some problems with this tech area. Maybe so. And look, this virus, I mean, this being on being a former cruise ship navigator myself,
Right.
to have a virus going around on the ship is something must be pretty scary for all those passengers on this princess ship. And and also there's another one now out of Hong Kong that's got the same problem. So I mean, you can imagine a nightmare scenario where that thing could, listen, they've had these other kind of viruses before that hit hundreds of people at a time on these cruise ships. So this could be a market mover, if things get out of control here in the next few days. Also, most of the countries are going up exponentially. Not the UK or a couple of others so far, just yet, but Singapore and some of the closer countries to China seem to be going up fairly rapidly in terms of the numbers. From small obviously to double digits, and every day, I mean, it's like 4,000, almost 4,000 more infections from yesterday or from the day before to yesterday. So at some point, that's a kind of a wild card that could really torpedo the market. And we're struggling here a bit now on this Nasdaq. So I think that if we rally further today, I'd be very. I mean, if we do take another leg to the upside on the Nasdaq, I think you can breathe a sigh of relief. But if we deteriorate today, I think we might be in some trouble. So
Well, the S&P is about to hit. Well, it has hit. It's about to hit it again.
it's back to my target, right?
This weekly trading zone at 3328/29. Our alert last night was to be long 3308, so that took us up to the zone at 2829. We've made multiple attempts. These are 30-minute candles. We've made multiple attempts to get through there. We haven't managed to get through there quite yet.
Yeah, no, it looks good. Have a look at the Nasdaq. If you could put the Nasdaq up, I mean, it'll shock you compared to that. Look at the difference. I mean, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. This is a really dangerous situation because when you have these sell-offs, it usually starts with the Nasdaq and it will drag the rest of the market down. And have a look at let's have a look at the Russell if you can.
There it is.
Yeah, no, that's an encouraging thing. We're actually breaking out a little bit on the Russell. So now remember, look, not only do we have all the kind of cumulative stimulus that's been going into these markets, you've got the possibility of the Fed doing a lot of things, and the Chinese, are obviously doing everything to stop this decline. So, this is something we've never seen before, and obviously if it happens again, you know what to do. Don't be short, go long, even if it's the end of the world. So could you pull up buy the Chinese stocks, I want to look at a few things. EDC.
Sure. Give me 1 second. Okay, now what was the symbol again?
EDC. So on the world market.
EDC, okay. All right, that's on the daily chart.
Okay, obviously a very different picture from the rest of the world, and that bar is a concern. So
Talking about this one
if
here.
if you could pull up Baidu. Same sort of thing, is that going to be, is that it? Are we going to break down from here? If we break down, I think it's going to drag the rest of the market lower. Baba? With the 1B.
There we go.
Same sort of thing, kind of an outside day too.
Yeah, bearish engulfing candle there.
Yeah. TCEHY.
Now, all the Asian markets finished the session in the green today, well as did the European markets.
Same sort of thing,
Mm-hmm.
So, look, they quit Trump and the market goes down, I think that would be kind of really bad. So it's something. It doesn't look like that's going to happen yet, but now we may, look, having got through this scare, if the Nasdaq can go up 100 points from here, which it could, it changes everything to back to bullish, very bullish, but very volatile markets right now, and you got to have your wits about you trading this stuff. So
You need to get that?
yeah. Listen, thanks very much.
All right, John. Thanks very much. Have a great day. Okay. So let's walk through these again real quick. On the S&P, last night's alert. If you didn't get a chance to grab a screenshot and you want to, there you go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Got it? Okay. Last night's Concierge Trade Alert said to consider being long the S&P 3308. The trade to target is always the weekly trading zone overhead, 3328. So we got a 20-point move at $50 per point. It's $1,000 per contract traded. And price has not yet been able to close above that weekly trading zone. Nice run. And kind of run into a brick wall there. Let's go to the Dow. On the Dow, the alert said to consider being long 28865. The initial trade to target overhead was 28980. So it took one 30-minute candle to do the job. $500 per contract move. That's the initial trade to target. The next trade to target is up at 29165. We ran up $500 per contract to the initial target, then added another $500 per contract, pulled back to the weekly trading zone where we found good support, which is what we anticipate. And now we've put in a run, and it looks like it's going to try its best to make that zone overhead, which is going to turn this into about a $1,500 per contract move, if in fact price can make it up to the zone. On the Russell, the alert said to consider being long 1668. Market gave us a $500 per contract move, got back below the trigger, and handed us a $600 per contract move. Now the zone overhead from here, hard to believe, But that's where it is. From this zone, this week's zone at 66/67. The next zone, the highest weekly zone for the Russell. Way up there. So this one will be an interesting to watch. The NQ. The alert said to consider being long, 93.80. We ran up $1,400 per contract traded. Got back below the trigger. Haven't re-triggered as of yet. So we'll wait to see what happens there. These zones have not been updated yet for this week. This zone, 93.45/46. Now, of course, partners and passport holders get the new zones Monday morning, 6:15 a.m. Eastern, before Wall Street wakes up, so that all of our members have an opportunity to get their charts ready to go for the week. Now, from 93.45, there's only one more zone overhead for the NQ this week, and it's up at 96.80. $96.80/81. Lots of room to run there. On crude, the alert said to consider being long, 50.35. The initial run, $350 per contract traded. That was to the initial trade 2 target. And then the next trade 2 target, which we haven't quite made it to, still put in about a $1,500 per contract move. Gold, the swing low on gold was 1551.1. Price marched right down to the trigger, got within one tick of the trigger, turned around, headed the other way. We see this a lot. It's not that unusual. Everything between the lines is price making up its mind. So that covers the S&P, the Dow, the Russell, the NQ, crude, and gold. Now, I'm sure most of you saw the speech last night, State of the Union. I did not catch the opening shot where the president refused to shake Nancy Pelosi's hand. I'm sure in hindsight he wishes he had. He appeared to not see it, and that's a possibility. I don't know if he's made mention of it today or if it's being discussed or not. But at the end, I don't know what else to call it, but the temper tantrum that she threw by destroying a historical document. I don't know who she was trying to impress and how that was supposed to impress them, but from both sides of the aisle, no one seems to be taking it very kindly to that. And if nothing else, I think that action on her part really made Trump think back to, if she offered her hand for a handshake and he saw it, he should have shook it. Now, she started it because she did not introduce him the way she was supposed to. She basically said, here's the president, but there's some eloquent words that are supposed to accompany that. And she didn't do her part. So if he saw her offer her hand as a handshake and he intentionally ignored it, that combined with her tearing up the speech at the end, and that's a little childish on both parts. More so on hers, I think, but hey, now it's done. Now it's behind us. And the retired mayor, the retired gay mayor, Mayor Pete, appears to be out in front after Iowa. And Joe Biden, who's been the quote-unquote front runner all along, according to the numbers from last night, he's in 4th place. Well, this is going to be very interesting. Everyone thought the only person that had the ability or the potential to beat Trump in the general election would be Biden. Now, I don't know if you've heard this or not, but the company that created the app that was to tally the votes in Iowa, the company, well, there was 2 guys that were on Hillary's IT team back when she ran. They formed their own company after she lost the election, and it's called Shadow, I believe. It was Hillary's ex-IT guys who got the contract to create this app for the DNC to tally these votes, and it didn't work. That doesn't look good. Not here to start a conspiracy theory, just saying. Because when the app failed, my first thoughts were, okay, whoever developed this app, who do they have ties to? And it wasn't long before the news came out, they had ties to Hillary. So no matter who won in Iowa, all their time, effort, and money spent, they didn't get their aha moment that they were hoping for. I still don't know if all the precincts have reported. Now we're moving on to the other states. I have to say that the standout winner of the Iowa caucus was President Trump, and he wasn't even running. So pray for our nation, and again pray for Frank's family. Doesn't matter how long they've been anticipating this or awaiting this. There's a time here now where they're having to deal with the reality of it, making arrangements, all these other things. So just pray that the Spirit of God, the Spirit of peace, would be with them, would be in their home, would be in their lives. Good word for the day. The Lord himself goes before you and will be with you. Deuteronomy 31:8. Are you feeling anxious today because you don't know what you're walking into? Israel was going into a good situation, the promised land. They had just come out of a bad one, 430 years of slavery. Now they were going to be free to own their own homes, raise their own families, work at jobs they like, and be well paid for it. But the promised land wasn't problem-free. There were enemy strongholds that had to be conquered one by one, and it would take time. Deuteronomy 7:22 says, "The Lord your God will drive out those nations before you, little by little. You will not be allowed to eliminate them all at once, or the wild animals will multiply around you." Is there a similar situation to the one you find yourself in today? Maybe you're embarking on a new relationship, a new job, a new ministry, or an unfamiliar area where you just don't have all the answers. And because you don't know exactly what's involved, you're anxious. Don't be. Instead, be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them, for the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. The Lord himself goes before you and will be with you. He will not leave you. He will not forsake you. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. Carry these promises with you, and when your confidence starts to falter and your faith fluctuates, read them, stand on them, and believe God to honor his word as he always does. And that's our good word for the day. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whoever you are, wherever you are, may God continue to richly bless you with his mercy and with his grace. And I'll see you at the bell.
Remember this, there is no greater return on investment than to see a human life changed and given hope. As always, pray hard and trade safe. Any financial information discussed on this show is simply the opinion of our host, Dwayne Reeves, his co-hosts, and guests. To learn more about trading Emini Futures or to take a 1-week free trial in our live trading room, call 1-866-928-3310. 866-928-3310. Information discussed on this radio program should not be construed as a recommendation to buy or sell any security. Always do your own due diligence and consult with a licensed securities broker or financial planner before making any investment decision.